welcome to Informe I-43. My name is Daniel Colón, filling in for Joe Meléndez. And today we have again our candidate, Joe Meléndez, who's running for representative of District 43 here in Orlando. Joe, welcome back.
Thank you, Daniel.
How
Glad
are
to be
you?
here.
Good, good. It's almost election time.
Yes.
And you have been knocking on doors in our district. What percentage of doors have you reached so far?
So we've knocked on 56%, which is more than half of the district so far.
More than half of the district. Okay. And when you knock on people's door, they have mentioned a few things that are the major concerns, right? For example, one of the things I was reading that they mentioned is their security.
Yes.
Okay. And what is your plan to tackle that?
So one of the things we want to make sure that we're doing is providing more funding for our police officers. One of the things that we've been seeing is there's a lot of signs on the side of the road saying we're hiring. Orange County sheriffs are hiring. Why? Because we're not giving them the funds that they need, in my honest opinion. I want to make sure that we're also providing better training for our police officers. I want to see how we can be more proactive instead of reactive. One of the things that we're seeing, unfortunately, is there's a lot of threats going on, especially in our schools. I want to see how we can ensure that those threats do not become a reality. Why? Because our kids deserve safety. And I want to make sure that safety is a key solution in our state. For me, safety is number one.
Okay. And along with safety, many times safety goes hand in hand with lack of business opportunities like economic growth. As far as business goes, what is your vision for that?
So I want to be a friend for our business owners. For those who have a business, I want to sit down at the table with you and discuss how we can take out any outdated regulations. If there's any regulations that are designed to keep our businesses struggling, let's take those regulations out. If it's a regulation designed to keep our community safe, we'll keep those. But if it's something that's just causing a hindrance, let's take those out. I want to also make sure that our business owners are able to have a clear pathway when it comes to resources. A lot of businesses mention that they don't know how to get grants. They don't know how to get the resources that they need. So let's create a clear pathway for them on that. I want to make sure that our businesses are successful at all times. And one of the things that was brought to my attention by business owners is they want to have more outdoor events for our businesses. That way, someone comes off the street, sees that there's an event for our businesses, talks to our business owners, and buys the products of our business owners. I want to make sure they're successful.
Okay. So we were talking many times crimes goes hand in hand with a lack of faith. Tell us about your background in faith. I know that you're a pastor kid, or PK, how they normally say outside. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I grew up as a son of pastors. My parents have been pastoring for, I want to say, almost 25 years. So growing up, I've learned service through my family. One of the things that I remember going back to, let's say I was in 5th grade, the seniors of our church in their wheelchair, they would want to go right, I would take them right. They would want to go left, I would take them left. I would just serve our seniors in our church. And that is one of the things I've been bringing along with me to the Florida legislature as an aide and now as a candidate. I believe that faith is that key that keeps me focused. And I believe faith is that key that opens up the doors. All the things that I've been able to accomplish has been because of God, not because of me.
That's good. That's good. One of the things I was reading on your reports when you knock on doors is that many parents have this desire of their kids to do better. For example, specifically, the kids with disabilities, okay? And on our district, I think we lack that at the moment. What are your plans to help those kids that are clearly with a disadvantage?
So to your point, one of the things I want to make sure that we're doing in the Florida legislature is providing more funding when it comes to healthcare. I've done research, and my research shows that the state of Florida, we're one of the last states when it comes to funding, when it comes to healthcare. So I want to provide more funding when it comes to healthcare. I want to see how we can ensure that we have more medical care physicians that can take care of our children. I want to make sure that if there's any other forms of learning that we can implement to ensure the success of our children in the school system, we're implementing that. Okay. Let's use technology when it comes to education as well. Because technology is something that draws the attention of a lot of people, especially our youth, especially people who have unique abilities. So I want to make sure that we're using that for their success.
Okay. We mentioned schools. We just talked about schools. And I think one of the needs that people also mention is the basic public transportation. And in Orlando, different from other cities that have a more developed transportation system, we see the traffic jams here.
We do.
They're horrible. I think the public transportation in Orlando has been overlooked.
It has.
For a very long time. What are your plans for that?
That goes back to what I mentioned earlier, technology. We were in talks with someone over in the Lake Nona area who has a technological hub that we can tap into. They're looking to see how we can improve transportation, use better bus systems. I want to see how we can work with public-private sector, see how we can strengthen a relationship. Because one of the things that we're seeing is, like you said, some people are waiting 30 minutes at the bus stop. I want to see how we can improve that. I want to make sure that you don't get to work late or you don't get to your destination late. I hear from our community their concerns when it comes to safety, when it comes to transportation. Safety and transportation, believe it or not, they go hand in hand. I want to see how we can improve the safety mechanism in our transportation as well.
That's good. So we mentioned 5 basic items on your campaign. We mentioned safety. We mentioned transportation, children with disabilities. We mentioned the faith, how faith plays a very important role in all this. And finally, business opportunities. So these 5 components are very important because, in any city, it's important that you get to places, that you have a job, that you have business opportunities, that you have a safety in schools, and of course, that there's a certain degree of faith. Joe, we want to thank you for your time and answering these questions, and also filling the blanks for those voters who might still be undecided on who to vote for. And one of the things that many times we hear is that people sometimes feel that their voice is only important on election years. Mm. That after election pass, they become irrelevant and the current administration becomes stagnant. And we know that you have plans and we know that you have a machinery to make all these plans to move ahead. And we wish you the best of lucks and God bless you. And we want to see you being elected in November.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thanks for being here and hopefully to have you back soon.
And one of the things before we leave is I want to provide my cell number. One of the things that you mentioned, for me, it's very important. Even when I was an aide, a lot of aides when it comes to Florida legislature or when it comes to any other government office do not provide their number. I always want to have that direct connection with people who are watching our videos, who are in our community. My number is 407-283-3984. If you have any ideas, please, I want to hear ideas. I want to see how we can implement and work together.
Say it one more time.
That's 407-283-3984. Let's work together.
And that's your personal cell phone
That's
number?
That's my personal cell number.
Okay. Well, thanks again for being here and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.
Thank you.